Welcome back to Sending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. We're gonna do a collective reading using the Light Series Tarot. Oh, let me get out of that quick. Sorry, my bad. Alright. Hello. I have a jazz mix going to photos of Arizona. Snowy photos of Arizona. It's the Grand Canyon, Monument Valley now. Anyway, good morning. Wait, no, it's bedtime. Good evening. Alright. One more. Uno más. Really should have gotten the knockoff version of this deck because it's like too big for my hands. Page of Cups on the bottom. Alright, no, I'm only taking singles, yo. There's no snow here, by the way, in northern Arizona. Not anything. Big Flagstaff got a little a couple weeks ago, but nothing. It's actually really warm. I got Niall dressed this morning because it was cold in sweats and a sweatshirt, and then by the afternoon I was like, you need a t-shirt and shorts. We have the Eight of Cups and the Devil. The Moon and Strength. Damn. Eight of Cups speaks to walking away from what no longer serves you. Clearly the Devil energy. Because they came out right next to each other. Followed by the Moon and Strength. So, Ace of Pentacles. A lot of strength is needed right now to be going through this process. Whatever process you're in. Whatever darkness it is that you are either liberating yourself from or assessing. There's like an energy of like doing your inventory. This is interesting. Be careful whatever it is you're walking away from, though. I mean, the way that these cards are coming out next to each other. So this is Eight of Cups, which is walking away from anything that's not emotionally this speaks to my personal situation with my mother. That's why I said like that. Anyway, walking away, but don't walk directly into this. Remember that the Devil has controlling this person like a puppet, okay? Okay. I have been warned. Alright, and then the Moon card with Strength. The Moon is the Piscean energy of the major arcana. It speaks to your depth. It speaks to your the work that you've done around your own shadow and the strength that it's taken to do this. This is a process that you were in alone. So for me personally, as this resonates with me, like I said, I've been warned a lot, but should I keep doing this publicly, or your new beginning is here? The Ace of Pentacles. You have established these roots. Do not let anything come in and take that away from you. Including people from the past. Most importantly, people from the past. Whatever that relationship dynamic is. Alright, I think I'm gonna do an Irish goodbye in this situation. Block silently. That's what's necessary. Well, now that I've figured out mine, what do you need to walk away from? And what do you know you need to walk away from? And you know, sometimes the holidays can really muddy our waters, right? But remember the depth that you've swam in, emotionally speaking. I'm not talking about like one time I swam in, I don't know. But thinking about all of the work. What was that? All of the work that you've done to get to where you are, all the strength it took to stand on your own. Yup, I'm in this energy too, friends. I think that I've had a really big couple of weeks, so it makes sense on why I would, and just the practical necessity of that. But no, contact is a really, really powerful thing. We have the High Priestess. Yeah. Owning your power, not letting anyone come in and knock you down. I'm like having a hard time breathing. The heater is really hot. Sedona. A vortex could be significant. Knight of Pentacles. Stepping into this new beginning with the Ace of Pentacles, and allowing everything that you're touching to like grow behind you, right? Like this photo shows. So not only putting roots down, but maybe spreading those out as you go, right? I'm really working on that for myself. When I have conflict with, when I have someone, okay, so when I have like an abusive dynamic or like someone trying to control me in any capacity, what I tend to do is hyper focus on myself. And this hasn't always been my practice. In fact, this is relatively new because I've always struggled with codependency because I was raised by a covert narcissist, right? I'm just sharing my personal stuff because I'm literally balls deep in this as well. So when I started, I had to call my mom to get money to help put my cat down. And we get that money anyway, but I needed it early. And so I had to call and ask for that. And I found myself hoping, I mean, baby daddy was here. So it was like, those are my two main abusers, my mother and baby daddy. And they're both narcissists. And so baby daddy was here in the physical, and we had a hard, I don't even want to see this man anymore, like at all, ever again. I'd be fine. But both of them still support me financially. And I'm really, really working on getting out of that because I feel stuck. Like, I'm grateful to a certain degree, but I also, I mean, as a white woman, saying this word might ruffle some feathers, so I'm going to give you a heads up. I see what they did to me. If you haven't watched some of my story times, go see those, or trauma talks. These people literally trafficked me, and so I see the financial support as a like emotional reparations, quite frankly, for the things that I had to go through. But I don't want to rely on them anymore. I want to be free of them. So I think that could be this space, right? I mean, it totally is. And I'm using this as an example because I think when the holidays are here, it can make things a lot more nostalgic, and it can bring stuff up. I had no intention of talking to my mother ever again, but I needed the money to take care of my cat. And baby daddy was really pushing, like, oh, invite her. And I did initially, and then I was like, that doesn't feel right. Like, I don't want her to come here. Like, it's not water under the bridge for me. The bridge has been burned, right? So where are you maybe second guessing some decisions you've already made? Where are you kind of reverting back to And I think a way that we can establish this is, how does it make you feel? I contacted her today because I received the aerial swing and she gave me money to buy it. I'm pretty sure baby daddy sabotaged that while he was here because he saw it brought us joy. And so since my mom was back in my life and I know that I have stolen inheritances, like she stole my inheritances, I also believe that my mother has a life insurance policy in my name that she's been using. I know she's doing that with my dad, but my dad died like 22 years ago. Like, so what I believe, I'm going to share a little bit, is that this has never been confirmed by these people, and I don't think it will be, but my intuition and my spirit guides, I'm a medium, I talk to my guides, they communicate with me. My dad and my dad's mother specifically are the two safe relatives that I communicate with. Anyway, I have a knowing that there were things left for me. My mother's father has also been coming through since before Niall was born, actually. Right, the night that I got the period that Niall was conceived after, my mother's father came through. And anyway, all of this to say is, I've been very guided, but I have reverted back. And I even shared that with my mother after I canceled her visit. I'm like, I think I reverted back. Like, we had a very codependent relationship because, again, she was narcissistic. She breadcrumbed me my entire life. And anyway, so I don't feel guilty about asking for more money, and so I asked for the swing, but I am still finding myself in these patterns of feeling guilty, even though my logic, logically I know that it's what I deserve and what I am owed, and way more than that. But there's still that little Ashley within me who struggles so much. It's that mother wound. And so anyway, I communicated with her today, and it was just such a stupid conversation. And I just shared, like, that we got the swing, and I'm like, thank you for, helping with that. Those things are really expensive. I mean, really expensive, we're like, every penny's accounted for right now in this economy. So I find myself personally in this place of acknowledging that I called her and money was given to me immediately, even though we've been no contact. And that makes me feel some type of way, but also my emotional support to my own mother is way more than any emotional support I ever got from my mother. Does that make sense? But it's, this emotional labor, it's invisible, it's not considered tangible, monetary, right? And I've really had to struggle with that. And so I'm stepping into this, I consider myself not really a high priestess. I more resonate with the Empress, but I'm very much in my power, as long as I don't let anyone knock me off. And I feel really weird that this is like really about me, but this is exactly what I'm going through right now. Because I'm really grappling with this. I don't want to continue communication, but a little bit of me feels like I have to, or like I feel guilty. But again, I know it's more than what I asked for is owed to me. I've been thinking a lot about this since she has coming back into my life, and I'm just going to share. I never even, my dad knew he was going to die. He was fighting cancer for like 9 months before he died. And I never even got a letter from my dad. And so I was thinking about that the other day, because I know he left me stuff, but my mother ran away from it. She took us on, a cruise. We went to Europe. We went on like vacations. So she used this money, and she used it as a form of escapism, which was not the correct, I was like 15. And then she like started locking me up in like psych wards at that age too. Like, she's like, you're depressed, like go get help. And like, so she couldn't handle me because she was dealing with her own shit. And we've never had a conversation about this because, again, the emotional maturity of my mother is low. And I do have things I want to say to her, and maybe I should just use this space to say those things, and then I can just block again. And yeah, the sun is at the bottom of the deck, the happiest. Okay, so let me just use this space. So I apologize. I guess I'll rename this. It's not quite a reading, but I will do this as like a story time, I guess. So the things that I want to say to her, because we are back in communication, I would love to be able to say, have you talked to your therapist about triangulation? Because that's what she did to my sister and I. My sister and I have never had a good relationship, ever. We are 6 years apart, but my parents never did anything to make us have a good relationship. And my sister molested me when I was a child. And my mother is spending Christmas with my sister. My mother has chosen... These are the things that I'm like having to replay back as I'm like opening this line of communication because I need money. And so for me, it feels like I'm like signing my soul. It feels like I'm making a deal with the devil because... So I'm like really pushing to make my own money. I'm like getting all of these ideas. So I started this whole thing by saying... when I start to feel myself either giving my power away or power is being taken or just the energy around a certain relationship is not aligned or balanced, I tend to really, really take something on and prove to myself who I am. Not for the validation of others, but because it helps me stay focused. It's my way of regaining my power. And so there are a few things that I've accomplished in these 2 weeks that this line of communication has been open, almost 3 weeks, that I don't think I would have done otherwise. So it's kind of like, lighting a fire under my ass. So I never let my integrity go. I never let the codependency seep back in. I had to consciously remind myself, though, that I'm not who I was when we stopped talking, and she is. And I said something to her about baby daddy the other day, and I don't think she has the capacity to see that as something that she does as well. But what I said to her was, when I was like asking for money to buy a new swing, because I'm pretty sure he sabotaged it, because I left him in the yard for like an hour, and Niall and I went for a walk, and because I didn't want him around Niall. And then the next day, Hootie died, and I went on the swing after we got done taking care of Hootie, and it broke, right? And I fell on my face. And that was the day I talked to my mother. And then the next Friday, a week after that, I fell out of the back of the ambulance and like fucked up my elbow. I'm still healing from that. And I talked to her on the phone that day too. So for me, those were both signs that were like, do not do this. What the fuck? But I invested a lot of the money. We always have a dry spell towards the end of the year. And so I was really trying to prevent that this year, and I didn't. So, lesson learned for next year. Like, have enough money stashed for fucking November through January. So those are things that I'm learning. It's a lesson, right? So I'm in this space. So the main thing for me was that I never forgot about my strength or my magic in the midst of this. So today I shared with her the swing, and then I also shared with her that I was doing archery. And the thing that she said back to me was so generic. She said, you have such interesting... Or you have such... What was it? Did I already delete it or no? No, I didn't delete it. You have so many cool interests. Good for you. I don't need this in my life. So let's go ahead. I accidentally texted her from my backup phone that she didn't have the fucking number for today. don't want this anymore. And I especially don't want it as she's with my sister. How do you block? Oops. Accidentally called her. My bad. Okay. How do you block colors? Oh, blocked numbers. Okay. I know this one by heart. Alright, I have to do this. It's what feels right to me. Anytime that there's a relationship, regardless, again, of whatever dynamic it is, and it makes your head like hamster wheel, or it makes you second guess yourself, or it shows like complete lack of interest, walk the fuck away from that, right? Walk the fuck away from that. So again, the things that I would like to say to her, I would like to tell her that I don't believe nothing was left to me from my grandparents or from my dad. And I would love to say that, because that was the whole reason that they locked me up when I was in my early 20s the first time. And the last time, like when we first went no contact a year ago, I'm so sorry, this is such a trauma. Okay, she's blocked on both phones. So, I didn't realize this was such a trauma dump, but it is something that I really need to, like I said, I mean, this energy, holiday energy, can make things resurface. And so, like, my mother has always wanted, oh my god, holy shit, I have this big pain right here. My mother has always seen me as an extension of herself, instead of my own person, right? And this past year, or almost 2 years that we've been no contact, I've been discovering myself. And so for her to even just have that generic response about like, oh, you have so many cool interests, right? Like, the other day when I was talking about Dogon to her too, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. This has been a lot. It's been a lot for me this past few weeks. So thank you for being here. I'm sorry, I thought this was going to be a collective reading. I got a download earlier today to use the Light Series Tarot. So, this is interesting. Oh my god, the sun and the star, and then that Page of Cups. Again. Knight of Wands. Beat, or dance to the beat of your own drum. Yeah. The world. I've got the whole world. Like, I've got success. I'm aware, so I think it's interesting to visit this because I'm aware of how she makes me feel, which I wasn't. But that day that we stopped talking, I was like, you know, I blamed her for all the things that I've had to go through. And at this point in time, I'm over it. But I'm over it by myself. I'm not over it with her. I will never forgive the way that I was treated. I won't. I can't. I mean, I forgive myself, but I will never. There just can't be a relationship there, right? It's like if you're married and someone cheats on you, I've been through that too. I will never get over that. I will hate you forever for doing that. I don't deserve to be treated like that. And my self-concept and my self-esteem and my confidence are way more than what my mother will ever have. She hates herself, and I look a lot like her. And so what I was saying about being an extension, she doesn't like me. She pretends like she does, but she doesn't. She enjoys my energy because my energy is like very refreshing. But I don't enjoy talking to her. I don't enjoy. It sucks because I wish that I had, I wish that I had the mom that I am. But I'm also not the best mom all the time because I need a break, right? I haven't had a break. So I can be really short with Niall too. But even just that, like, I won't have a second child because of the way that me and my sister were. And I was thinking about that today too in regards of generational healing. Because as I was talking about that daily or decolonizing 101 yesterday, I was talking about, decolonizing your lineage. And I was talking about my Scottish roots, and it made me start to think about everyone in my family. And I'm like, all of the cousins, all of the siblings, there's like a curse on our family or something where everybody has 2 kids except me. Oh, wait, no. One of my cousins has 3 kids. But there was a death in her family, so that makes sense. But everybody has 2 kids, and I don't want 2 kids. I only have 1 kid. Mostly because of my trauma with my sister. I wouldn't want to do that. And also, Niall's personality is not conducive to being not an only child. Kid is a little bit possessed. So, not possessed, but possessive. So anyway, these are things that I've been really sitting with and ruminating with and navigating silently. So anyway, I said to her, when we stopped talking, you know, like, you had me locked up. And her response to that, again, this was almost 2 years ago. It was April of 24. Was, no, you did that. You did that to yourself. And I said, why don't you talk to your therapist? And her response to that, I said, you need to talk to your therapist about some of these things. I'm like, you're not perfect. And her response to that, again, her emotional abilities are very kindergarten, elementary. And her response was, well, I have talked to my therapist about you, and I don't think that that's what she would say. So, I don't think that we are ever going to be able to see eye to eye. Again, the things that I wish I could say, I wish we would be able to have a conversation about, but I'm not in that. I've grown beyond it, to be nice about it. I would love to say the thing about triangulation. I would love to tell her that I feel like I've always been an extension of her, in her eyes. I would love to tell her about the times, remind her of the things that she's said to me that have tried to knock me down, right? She's a very apathetic person. She enjoys being ignorant. Obviously, if you're over here, you know I am not like that. I like to know everything. And so I'm very open-minded, you know. My sister and her are classist. They are homophobic. They are ableist. They are racist. And, oh, it feels really good to be talking about this. Oh. So she's probably gonna be mad at me. Like, you used me for money. Damn right I did. You have my money. Oh god, you guys, you have to get one of these. I swear to god, this is the best thing ever. This commercial. So I also felt myself slipping into a lack mentality the past couple weeks. Which is not where I'm at. But it did, again, start that fire. Oh my god, this feels so good. It started that fire under my ass to really think about my business. And I have huge plans. I've already put a lot of work in. I have, more work to do, but I'm pacing myself because I don't want to, do the ADH thing and, burn out. And again, a lot of these projects that I'm doing are things that have been in my brain for a good 10 years. Projects that I've thought about, wanted to do, but, life happened. Motherhood happened. Shitty family and marriages happened. So it's like I'm finally stepping into this. And so I'm really grateful that you guys are here for this. Because this is right. I mean, my guides are right, and they know I'm not listening to the signs, because like I said, I had 2 crazy accidents. And earlier in the summer, when I hurt my wrist and I got that eye infection, it was because I had people in my energy that I didn't need in my energy. And so my guides are being very cutthroat about who can be in my energy and who can't. And they're showing me they're showing me when things are not aligned in a way that is very obvious to me, right? Like the other day, I saw someone and it was just like someone, we fell out. I don't know. It was pretty sure they're narcissists too, or like weird. And I didn't get any views that day on YouTube. And it was like, Ashley, focus. Because they know that and that's how they've communicated with that particular person for a while, is my YouTube views. But like the falling down in the summer, that was because like there was this energy vampire, you know, and so I've had to be like very strict about my energy, which is new for me, but I do have like, I have like dope ass energy because I'm so conscious about what I'm doing. So anyway, okay. Sun and star. So I'm ready to step into my happiest timeline. I'm ready for abundance. I'm ready for everything that comes with the work that I've done, and the work that I'm doing. I'm ready for that. Okay, Two of Wands. Decisions to make. And a death and rebirth. I think this house, I think Niall and I are really outgrowing this house. So I think we're there. I've been really thinking about that. As you know, I've been really focused on like my vision boarding for the future house. You know, I've been exploring more options the past few months. You know, I was looking at, well, I don't want to go to the West Coast anymore, but I was like looking at places in Europe, and you know, I'm just like, you know, I don't have the money for any of this, but I work my ass off. Like, money is inevitable. It's going to come to me as long as I stay focused and do my work. I keep seeing the Eight of Pentacles, which is exactly that, doing the work. The Hermit keeps speaking to staying in your own energy. Anything else for me with my witnesses? Yeah. It still hurts. It all still hurts. But with this death and rebirth and then the Two of Wands with the Three of Swords, it's time to let it go. It's time to step into what's new. It's done. Yeah, the Hangman. I'm not trying to get stuck. The Ace of Cups. Emotional stability. King of Wands. Spiritual stability. I have been feeling this Four of Cups energy. A little bit bored. Very bored, actually. But I want to feel safe enough to allow myself out. And I'm getting there. But having this woman in my life has been... It's really fucked me up now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. Like, it's just been like 2 weeks. It's really... It's like you're stuck in a spider web. Not the No Doubt song. I mean, sure. But yeah, that's even giving like Spider-Man webs. Like, that's how I feel. I feel like, ugh, like, ew. You know, my energy, like all of my boundaries, right? I don't want to have to explain myself. I don't want to constantly want someone to care about me who really doesn't, right? And it started with my mom. The Tower. Yeah, if I don't get out of this... And that's what those falls were, you know? They were telling me, like, this isn't it, girl. off. And I overshared with her the Magician, the Fool, the Ten of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. So this is the energy my family has always tried to keep me in. But this is where I'm at. There's nothing they can do at this point. They don't have power over me unless I give that power to them, right? And that's why it's so hard for me. Again, because I needed the money, but I felt guilty about asking for it because I know that it's going to get back. And I told her that. I said, you are not allowed to tell anyone my business because that's the only thing this woman does. She can't keep my name out of her mouth. That's what narcissists do. They feed off of energy. They storytell, they get flying monkeys, they get people on their back. Again, like what I said about her therapist. Wow, this is so healing. Sorry, this is going to be a long one because I really need to talk about. Ten of Wands, the burdens that have been placed on my back by my family, completely unfair. None of these motherfuckers could do the things that I've done. And the way they look at me and the way they talk to me, it's hideous. me, it's time to take this leap of faith into my own world of magic. Thanks for being here through this. It really sucks. It really sucks to have a mother who doesn't care for you, but she doesn't even know herself. And that's the thing. This is the first time in her life she's been on her own, and I can have compassion for that. And if you're going through whatever you're going through that this is resonating with, and thank you for witnessing me. But, you know, you can have compassion, but that doesn't mean access is granted. That doesn't mean everything's cool when we know it's not, right? And again, that's this wounded Ashley, because my mother, like I said, she breadcrumbed me my whole life and made me feel like I had to be so grateful for barely anything, right? Definitely not emotional support. And again, I believe that that's not her money. That's money that she's either getting under my name or money that was meant for me. She's said too much to me, and I'm too smart. Like, she said when her mother died, that's when she started doing these monthly payments. So to me, that was like red flag number one. You were left a lot of money. And she was like, wrote this letter, and she's like, I'm just sharing it out of the kindness of my heart. And I'm like, bullshit. And immediately I knew. So this was what, 2001? No, 2002, I think. And you know, she's like, I'm gonna give you monthly payments. And to me, that was, you're gonna breadcrumb this inheritance that's not even yours, that you should be giving all of me to. And I believe that what my family has done is that they got me into the court system. They have that paper trail of insanity, to prove that I would not be able, you know, kind of like what Britney Spears is going through, if that's really who that is, the conservatorship. Where people like hold power over you, and they claim that you're incapable when you're not. I'm definitely not incapable. But I think for a long time that's what they were trying to do, my mother and my sister. And so the movie Ever After has always resonated with me. I feel very much, I mean, first of all, I love Drew Barrymore. She's my favorite. Unless she's like a pedophile killing cannibal, which she may be because of that that show. Anyway, moving on. That movie has always resonated with me, and that line at the very end, after the prince asks, after they get married and she becomes, you know, the next heir to the throne, and her family doesn't know about it, and then her family is like brought there for judgment, and the king is like, did you lie to the queen? And she's like, someone will speak for me. And then Drew Barrymore's character comes out and she's like, I will speak for you. And then she says, Your Majesty, I just want them to be treated with the same, I think she says consideration. The same consideration that I was treated with. So it's, you know, like a big fuck you. Like, you know how you treated me. Now it's your turn. That's that karmic retribution. And that's where I'm at in my life. I'm here. So thank you for holding this space for me. This feels really vulnerable to post because it's very deep. Usually I don't share this in much depth in my process, but holy shit, we went through a lot. I appreciate it. Let me pull a couple yin-yangs just to see, with my own energy, what are some other things that I can kind of address here. I might even pull some shadow aspects too, because I really, really, really want to be free of this. Like, I know that there are things that I have not received. Again, I never finished that. When my mom's mother died, that's when she started giving us that money. But also, she mentioned to me when she was visiting at one point, because her husband divorced her and my mom had to move paperwork around, and my aunt, her sister, is the executor on distance. Exactly. Leave it alone. Time out. She mentioned to me that she had her sister Diane, she had her help with buying her new house because of my grandmother's paperwork. So for me, that was another red flag of, oh, So you moved things around that weren't yours. Career, contracts, and commitments. Integration, union, fire energy, feminine energy, disharmony, triggers, and conflict. So I'm going to continue to integrate, and that's what we're doing with pulling these. But yeah, as I'm speaking about till debt do us apart, or until debt tear us apart, I know that my mother is going to be receiving what she is. Epiphany breakthrough. Attraction hot. So I could have love coming in. I've been working on making myself the best version so that I can accept love that I deserve. Yeah, family, home, commitment, and forming a solid structure. Fuck yes. Trusting in divine timing constantly. Lack and doubts, have to release those thoughts and isolating, detachment and cold. So I need to get out and about. Storm unexpected. No thank you. Only happy times, friends. Anything else? Yes. Freedom, leap, opportunity. Oh. You know, I say to myself a lot of the times is I don't participate in my own oppression. And, yeah. Nurture, compassion, and reunion in soul ties. So if you are my soulmate and you are watching this, hurry up. I need you. I'm ready to step into the life that I've always dreamed of, right? I want my happily ever after, happily ever beginning, right? Okay, let me pull a couple of the shadow aspects just to see if this is resonant. If you're still here, I don't ever record things this much, so thank you. I feel like this was like a FaceTime call. I know it was a lot, but I've been really struggling with this, so I don't want to have to call on anyone for help. I want to be completely self-sufficient, and I've been working for it for so long, and you know, sometimes it feels like I'm not making progress, but I am, right? Like, even if it's just like looking around at the things I've accumulated and used money for, like, we have a very comfortable house. We haven't had all of, like, when I first left his dad, we had to sleep on a yoga mat together for a couple nights, and then I bought a mattress with like an eighth of weed. Right? Like, we didn't have a refrigerator in that RV. The RV power system didn't work. I didn't have propane or anything. Every step that I have taken for the past 6 years has been to solidify Niall and I on our own, so that I can provide a future for him that was not given to me. The support and love that was not given to me. When I was pregnant and I knew Dogon and I weren't going to work out, and when I was postpartum, you know, I reached out to family and I asked for help, and no one helped me. And that in itself is a reason to never fucking talk. Insecurity. Your worth is intrinsic and unchanging. And this woman is someone who doesn't have any. My mother's incredibly insecure, and she projects that on me. And that's why, like, another reason, right? There's plenty of reasons. I think it's interesting that my throat chakra is closing up because they never wanted me to talk. And that's one of the things I had to get to the root of with smoking. And I was talking about that in, a recent reading where I was like, why am I smoking? And it was because the people wanted, you know, I think that my sister and my two aunts and my mother try to do magic on me. I know they do, especially around full moons. By the way, we have a new moon in, I don't know what it is in. I saw someone say Scorpio, but I don't think so. It should be in Sag. Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. So I will make a video about that. It's on Friday. I think today's Thursday? Wednesday? I don't know. Thursday. So tomorrow is the new moon. So anything that you want. So this is a good day to do this little wrap up. Insecurity. What are you feeling insecure about? Again, I appreciate you being here. I hope this helped. I'm sure, you know, if you're going through it, you understand. I didn't mean for this to go this way, but I'm really glad it did. I needed this. I needed to get out of my own way, and I needed to really put this to an end. Grief. In pain, find healing and deeper connection to the self. I don't usually read cards for myself either, just so you know. Like even in my free time, I don't usually do this at all. Pride. True worth is measured by character, not accolades. My arm looks see-through. And anger. Use its fire to transform, not destroy. I am angry, but that's the thing. I've been in this process. Like, I don't want to, you know, what I say is not going to be heard. It's not going to be received. You know, and I have a bachelor's in communication. That was the first thing we learned in, like, the very first day of communication theory was person A and person B are exchanging messages, and they can only receive those messages based on their own understanding. So talking to a woman who hates herself when you are like the spitting image, but also have the freedom that she never had up until this point, yeah, it's not something I need. Control. By letting go of the illusion of control, we open ourselves up for genuine freedom. That's what I want. That's the goal. Freedom, obviously. Collectively, none of us are free until any of us are free, but as we get more free, we turn around and help others. And that's something I do. My family is very selfish, which is why I have so much guilt around asking for help, right? Like, keep it real. This woman has tons of money. It's not that big of a deal that I'm asking for a couple hundred, you know, for the first time in years. So, it's okay. I needed it. I asked. I got it. Bye. It's over. Okay. I'm going to pull from these just to get my spirits up, and then we'll do a couple affirmations to really take us all the way into the clouds. And then I'm going to go take a cleansing shower and do some mantras around releasing this bullshit. Don't allow anyone to have power over you. And I'm here too. This is my number one battle. It has been to my mother wound. So I hope this helps. And I hope in these holiday times that if you're going through something similar, that this is helping you. I don't know what I'm going to call this. Deep dive. Again, giving that moon energy, that Piscean energy. You have only just started to learn your soul's depth. What truly matters will rise to the surface. Clarity. You carry the very light that will dispel your confusion and show you the way home. And for us, home was never where I lived with my family. I was always seeking home other places and found home, you know, chosen family, friends, other friends, families, things like that. It's always been my story. Just because we get older doesn't mean that things magically disappear and get better. Emerging. Summon courage to break through. You can always start over again. One more. Breathe through some shit. Thanks for being here, guys. Anything else? Sharing. What do you guard so much? Secrets are only worth the silence they keep. Is it time to speak? So, that was helpful. Okay. Now to raise our self-esteem and love on our little inner child a little bit. Oh, God. I'm excited to shower. I'm so relieved to have my swing back. Oh, my God. It was a long few weeks. It was like a part of my daily routine. Every day around 5, I go out there and swing. as the sun is starting to set. Live in the moment, live every day with intention. Today is full of possibilities. Be original, own your dreams, and make today count. Thank you again for holding this space. I think this has got to be my longest reading yet. This has been difficult, and I'm grateful for this breakthrough. I'm not going back there, right? Okay, have a good one.